Hello there. I'm just going to go over the last little bit of really the JasperActive lessons. And I have to say I was a little bit disappointed with the last one. I was hoping that we would learn a little bit about pivot tables and a few other things, but unfortunately, I guess that's for the next advanced or professional or expert user. So the lesson here is actually easier than I thought it was going to be. It basically just gave you a few ideas about dealing with CSV files. I'll talk about that in a second, and a few other things. And the first bit, I must admit, I had a little bit of trouble here customizing the quick access toolbar. And part of that's just terminology. So this little guy up here, very top in the green, is your quick access toolbar. I thought, oh, well, this is your toolbar. Well, this is really your ribbon, right? The lower part here. So the quick access toolbar, when you have to make the changes, is right up here. And you can add a few little things so that they're up there. I had just forgotten that that's what it was called. And I thought maybe that will help you. It did say the thing was on the far right. And of course, I was looking way over here to find stuff on the far right. But it was on the far right of the quick access, which is really on the kind of left side, but far right. Yeah. Anyways, hopefully that might save you a few seconds. What else was I going to say? Oh, yes, CSV. CSV stands for comma separated values. And it's kind of like a generic default data file that can be used with a variety of programs, and of course Excel is one of those programs that can take it and use it that way. So you generally, maybe you're getting your data, let's just say it was coming something out of MyEd, and MyEd wants to give a general worksheet or general data format. A CSV file would be very, very common, and then simply you would open it up, and Excel recognizes it, but other programs do as well. So it's just one of those generic data files. They can be delimited in different ways. So delimited means how the information is separated, comma separated values, but they could be space separated values. They could be tab separated values. There's a variety of different ways to separate the data, and therefore the computer knows how to sort of put it into, in Excel at least, into columns and sort of rows. So basically each comma puts in a row, and then if there's an enter and another set, then that would just obviously move it down to another row. So each column is separated by the commas, and then each row is kind of separated by the space, a new line. So that goes into it. Otherwise, it was pretty straightforward. And like I said, I was a little disappointed that it didn't go into some of the stuff that I've found useful. And that is sort of in the data here. One of the things is, where is it? Sorry, maybe not in the data formulas. That was in data. I'm looking for insert. Sorry, I guess it's in the insert. Oh man, Mr. Fleming, where did it go? Somewhere here. I am looking for pivot tables. Usually it's insert, isn't it? Pivot table. Ah, there it is. Pivot charts, pivot table. There we are. Pivot chart and pivot tables. I don't know. Usually it would just be in pivot table. As really what I'm looking for. Pivot chart obviously lets you graph that information, but the pivot chart is very, very useful, or the pivot table is very useful for separating out things, but wasn't here. Yeah, so in the end, it's giving you a good understanding of how to work your way around, get around a Excel spreadsheet, but there is a lot more there. And like I mentioned before, Excel, you kind of need to know, to take full advantage of Excel, you either need to be sort of into statistics and sort of similarly into business, sort of accounting, financial planning, financial predictions and things like that to really see the benefit of what Excel can do. But having said that, you should now have a really good idea of how Excel works, and at least being able to get around it, working with the tabs and knowing some of the basic ideas about it. Now, from here, you have a choice. You can end your Excel career and your computer essentials, and that's fine. If you would like to get the certification, then you're going to need to practice with geometrics, and then you're going to need to obviously do the certification exam. And I believe we can do the certification exam from home. I have to triple check that, but I do recall that from the past. And so the good news is I mean, really that's going to be on your own, and it's really for your benefit. It's not going to be a mark on the report card, okay? As long as you've completed up to here, that's good. The certification is for your benefit, and I will help you get that done. And so really, you know, even though report card stuff and school kind of ends, I'm going to pop up my calendar here. The calendar kind of ends, you know, June 18th, June 19th is kind of the thing. Report card marks have to be in the 20th. If you need, excuse me, to complete it during this week, I'm happy to help you out and get that done. Okay, so don't feel that if I'm not going to run, I'm going to run out of time. If you're just sort of getting this done this week, and then you're going to be working on your geometrics, say up to the 12th or to whatever into this 2 weeks here. If you really need to do it the week of the 22nd to the 26th, I'm still your teacher. I'm still available for you. And so I will do my best to help you out to complete that certification. My suggestion would be at the very latest, trying to do it this week, at least the first time. Okay, so getting this week's done quickly. This won't take you too long, lesson 8. Getting this done and then being able to work through the rest of it by the end of the week there. But just let me know, because we need to sort of schedule, make sure everything's working, get the software on your computer so that you can do that. So just let me know how things are going, and just be in contact with me so we can definitely set that up. All right. Otherwise, good luck finishing up lesson 8 here, and we will see you later on.